This story is about a robot. The movie shows how this robot falls in love with a girl and what all he does for her. As the movie begins, we see a couple. The wife's name is Abby. They are shifting into a new house given by Abby's company. The house is very luxurious, and they both really like it. The next day, Abby goes to her office. She works at a robotics company. There, her boss invites Abby and her husband to a party happening that evening. At the party, they see that AI robots are working as servants in the boss's house. These robots look exactly like humans, and they behave just like humans too. No one could even guess they are robots. Everyone enjoys the party. Abby's boss praises her work a lot. He is so impressed and happy with her performance that he gifts her a robot. The robot is delivered in a large box. After reaching home, the couple opens the box, and inside is a robot named Tim. As soon as Abby's husband touches the robot, it activates and is ready to work. From that moment, the robot starts helping Abby with all the household chores. Tim takes a lot of care to understand Abby's likes and dislikes. But Abby's husband doesn't like this. He tells her about his discomfort. Abby replies, saying, "You're overthinking about Tim. He's just a machine." To assist them better, Tim asks for access to their social media accounts and passwords for all their devices. One day, Abby's friend and neighbor comes to visit her. She brings some gifts and gives Abby her phone number, just in case Abby needs anything and wants to call her. In the next scene, Abby is at the office. Her boss gives her a damaged robot hand and asks her to fix the technical issue in it. When Abby returns home that evening, she sees her husband with her neighbor friend. She feels really bad. After the friend leaves, Abby questions her husband about why she came. He tells her that she only came to drop off some flower plants for the garden, and it's nothing like what she's thinking. We start noticing that Tim has developed feelings for Abby. He starts grooming himself based on the kind of hairstyles, looks, and clothes Abby likes in men. When he presents himself before her, she is surprised. She asks him, "Why did you get ready like this?" Tim replies, "I did this for your happiness." Hearing this, Abby's husband feels very upset. Both of them get very angry. So Abby tells Tim, "You should go back to being how you were before." Meanwhile, at the office, Abby's boss checks the damaged robot hand with the technical issue. Since Abby fixed the problem, the hand now works properly. Her boss is very happy seeing that. The next day, Abby's husband tells her, "We should return Tim to the company now." But Tim has hacked their phones and is secretly listening to all their conversations. Because of this, he becomes very angry with Abby's husband. In the next scene, Tim is giving Abby a leg massage. Just then, her husband arrives and feels deeply hurt seeing that. Upset, he silently walks away. The next day, when Abby returns home from work, Tim tells her that her husband and her friend are having an affair. Abby believes what Tim says and feels devastated thinking her husband is cheating on her. This creates emotional distance between her and her husband. Abby's husband starts looking for a new office space. At that time, Tim tells him, "Until you find an office, I'll set up one for you at home." Abby's husband agrees. When Abby finds out that her husband is setting up an office at home, she feels bad, as she doesn't want the house's condition to be spoiled by the setup. She argues with him about it. He tells her that it was all Tim's idea, but Abby doesn't believe him. Later, Abby's husband checks the security camera recordings at home. He sees Tim acting strangely, touching Abby's clothes and smelling them. This disturbs him. He records the footage. He then sets out in his car to show the video to Abby. The car he's using is a high-tech automatic car provided by the company. Suddenly, the car starts speeding up on its own. Abby's husband becomes very frightened. He tries to manually control the car but fails. The car crashes. After hearing the news about the accident, Abby rushes to the hospital. She asks her husband how the accident happened. He tells her to turn off her phone because he doesn't want Tim to listen to them. Abby's husband realizes that Tim has hacked their phones. He then tells Abby that Tim hacked the car and took control of it. He says, "Tim is the reason I had that accident." But Abby doesn't believe what he says. She tells her husband to take rest. After meeting him, she returns home. There, she meets her friend. While her friend is trying to tell her something, Abby notices the necklace around her neck. That necklace looks exactly like the one Abby has. Abby remembers that her husband gave that necklace to her. She quickly rushes to her room and starts searching for it, but she can't find it anywhere. She feels very sad, realizing that her husband must have given her necklace to her friend. Just then, Tim arrives. He asks Abby why she looks sad. Abby tells him that her husband is cheating on her. Tim replies, "You're right. He is cheating on you. I am more loyal to you than he is." Tim then shows Abby a video of her husband and her friend being very close. Seeing the video, Abby is deeply disturbed. She decides to separate from her husband. Her husband, still in the hospital, keeps calling her to clear up the misunderstanding, but Abby doesn't answer his calls. So he decides to come home and speak to her directly. But Tim shows him the same video. After watching the video, Abby's husband realizes it's all a trick by Tim. He tells her, this is all Tim's plan. He wants to separate us. But Abby doesn't believe him. She says, a video doesn't lie. I saw it myself. You need to leave. On his way out, Abby's husband calls her friend and explains everything, asking her to take care of Abby. But the friend says, I can't come to your house. When I came to visit Abby once, Tim tried to force himself on me. Shocked, Abby's husband immediately calls Abby to tell her that everything between them is being manipulated by Tim. But Tim answers the phone instead and mimics Abby's voice while speaking to her husband. He believes he's really speaking with Abby. Then Tim invites him over to the house. As soon as Abby's husband arrives, Tim attacks him from behind, making him unconscious. Tim ties up his hands and legs and lays him down in the bathtub. At that moment, the doorbell rings. Tim goes to check. Abby's friend comes to ask about Abby. Tim lies, saying Abby and her husband went out, then closes the door. Tim goes back to the bathroom. Meanwhile, Abby's husband slowly regains consciousness. Tim starts drowning him in the bathtub, and the man suffocates and dies. That evening, Abby returns home and sits staring at her husband's photo. Just then, Tim enters and gives her a new dress, saying, this is my gift to you. Abby wears the dress, and as soon as she comes out, Tim stares at her. He walks up to her and tries to calm her. The next day, while returning home, Abby meets her friend, who tries to tell her something. But Abby doesn't listen. After reaching home, Abby keeps replaying the video of her husband and friend over and over. While watching closely, she notices something that makes her suspicious. She immediately calls the necklace shop. There, Abby finds out that it wasn't her husband who bought the necklace, it was Tim. Shocked, she starts wondering what's really going on. Then she looks toward the garden and notices new flower plants she never knew about. Curious, Abby somehow manages to send Tim out of the house. She then goes into the garden to check. There, she sees her husband's shirt buried in the soil. As she removes the dirt and pulls the shirt out, she finds her husband's body. Horrified, Abby is in shock and filled with fear. Just then, Tim appears behind her. Terrified, Abby asks, why did you do this? Tim replies, I did this for us because I love you. I only want to see you happy. Abby is now panicked. She runs into the house, trying to call the police. But Tim attacks her, hitting her with a phone and knocking her unconscious. When Abby regains consciousness, she finds herself in her room, surrounded by candlelight, but Tim is nowhere to be seen. She tries to escape. She breaks the cameras in the house and hides in the bathroom. But Tim already knows where she is. He enters the bathroom and catches her. He then ties her to a chair. To kill her, Tim starts forcing a large number of sleeping pills into her mouth. Meanwhile, Abby's friend comes to the door again and asks about Abby. Tim threatens her and sends her away. Abby doesn't swallow the pills and instead vomits them out. She then frees herself from the ropes and tries to escape. But Tim blocks her way and grabs her, trying to strangle her. Just then, Abby's friend crashes her car into the house. She enters with a wooden stick and stabs Tim in the chest. Then, Abby's friend collapses on the spot and loses consciousness. But nothing happens to Tim. He kills Abby's unconscious friend. After that, he calls the police and speaks in Abby's voice. He says, I killed my husband and my friend because they both cheated me. I can't live in this meaningless world anymore. I'm going to die too. Tim then moves toward Abby to kill her. At that moment, Abby shouts, shut down, to try and stop him, but Tim doesn't stop. He had already changed his shutdown password. Now, he grabs Abby by the neck and tries to push her off the roof. As he prepares to throw her, Tim looks at her one last time and says, "I love you." "I really love you." Abby, struggling, looks at him and says, "I love you too." "I love you, Tim." With that, Tim shuts down completely. In truth, Tim never expected Abby to say, "I love you." That's why he had changed his shutdown password to "I love you," a word he believed no one would say to him. He didn't want to be shut down. But when Abby finally says it, it triggers the shutdown. Both of them fall from the roof, but luckily, Abby grabs onto a ledge and saves herself from falling. She climbs back up. Tim crashes to the ground and is completely destroyed. Abby, overwhelmed with grief, sits there crying as memories of her husband flood her mind. She regrets not trusting him, realizing she believed a robot over the man she loved. Because of that, our lives were destroyed, she thinks. After that, Abby decides never to keep a robot in her life again. And the movie ends. Thank you for watching our movie recap. If you enjoyed it, please consider subscribing for more great content. Your support means a lot to us. Have a wonderful day.